I'm in love with my brother's wife. Part 2. I started to look back on those days where I disliked women and thought I wouldn't find a good woman, but now, I felt like I was floating on happiness. Right there and then I confessed to be about my IO for his sister. I expected him to be angry and the likes, but instead he said it was okay, but I should avoid her completely and ask for her in the halal way. I only had 1 year and a semester left of school before I was finished, and so did she, so by then I would definitely have her as my wife. I became heavily infatuated to the point where I would write corny poems about her, write future letters for her to open on our nikah day, picture us and our kids together. I'm not even kidding when I say I used to kick my feet like some little girl when I was in private. I literally could not wait. Once when I was in fantasy land and writing a poem about her, my older brother, who we will call A, 25 years old, caught me all smiley and whatnot and forcefully pulled my notebook out of my hand to read what made me so happy. We fought and scrambled for it, but he ripped the pages out and read them. You see, my older brother and I are not very close and we don't talk as much since he bullied me a lot growing up, and even then he would bully me on random occasions when we had any interaction with each other. I screamed at him for plucking out the pages, to which he surprisingly apologized for. He pushed and asked me to tell him who I was writing about and promised to not bully me, and apologized for all the bullying he put me through as kids and as grown-ups, basically manipulating me. I was hesitant, but I don't know what got over me, but I started to tell him everything, and I mean everything about her. From her angelic face, to her modesty, basically everything I loved about her. He smiled in a subtle manner and said, "Huh?" Said nothing and got up and left. I found that weird and all, but I really didn't care. I was in a delusional state and I wasn't gonna let his subtle behavior catch my attention. I had a marriage to prepare myself for. On later circumstances, A would ask me about me and B's friendship a lot, but would actively ask a lot about B's sis. I became annoyed with him asking me, so I asked him to stop getting in my business like that and that he should find a wife of his own instead of asking about another woman whom I don't even have any halal relations to and don't even engage with. He then would stop asking me about her and said he would definitely find a wife of his own. Fast forward when 4th year uni started for me, A moved out of the house to pursue his career and find a wife according to his words. My parents and I congratulated him on getting a job and wished him the best of luck on finding a wife. It wasn't until the last week to my graduation that A announced that he would be visiting us and told us about his fiancée. My parents were happy for him and I was too. That was until my friend B called me to tell me about his sister being engaged to another man, and that would be none other than A. I was devastated. I couldn't believe he would propose to the girl I was planning to ask for 2 years. My heart was broken. I was sad because I didn't have a job, but I was planning to get one, so there is no way I could compete with him anyway. My dad was aware of my sadness and comforted me, telling me that there are other women out there and all, but I wasn't having it, and then he told me that A is my brother and I should just get over it because he is my brother and brothers shouldn't fight over women when there are plenty of them. Okay, but why did he specifically go for the girl that I wanted? I used to pray to Hajjud for this woman, made dua multiple times, and this turns out to be my fate. When I asked A why he would do this to me, he said everyone wants a good woman and it's rare to find one like my fiancée. Maybe you shouldn't have raved about her to me. I became furious. I wanted to beat him up with a metal bar or something, but I just couldn't. I broke into tears in private because I was always surrounded by toxic people and was constantly bullied by him as a kid, and when he apologized I thought he was being genuine, and he betrayed me like this, and it's even worse now that I have to watch the love of my life be with my snubby brother. They got married a few months after my grad and had their walima. My friend B has been my biggest support and I honestly don't know what I would have done without him being there for me. It's good to have someone to vent to every now and then. However, how long will I hold on to this? It's been a year and I just can't seem to let go. I make dua every now and then for Allah to ease my heart and detach my heart from B's sister. I have to watch the woman I wanted with my lifelong bully. Holding on to him, loving him, having a life with him and kids with him. It's less likely that I will ever find another sister like this, and honestly don't know what I should do. Any advice? I'm also sorry for the story being extra long and I apologize for any incoherency whatsoever. I tried my best to shorten this. Thank you for listening to my venting.